Yo, what's going on, everybody? This your boy Taz, back with you with another Diablo Immortal video. This video, I'm gonna show you all how to get more critical hit damage. Okay? We did critical hit chains, we did skill cooldowns. If you have not watched those videos, I put them in the description for you to check them out. But this particular video, we're going to go over how to get more critical hit damage. So there are I believe about 6 different ways you can gain a little extra critical hit damage. So let's go over the first one. Number 1, your gear. When you do open world farm, Heliquary, Vanguard, whatever you do, you pick up gear, and sometimes it has critical hit damage. So as you see, I have critical hit damage on this gear. Critical hit damage increased by 4.5%. This is my offhand, by the way. Let's check out my alternate offhand. Critical hit damage increased by 4.5%. So one way is your gear. Sometimes it comes all, already on there, and we're gonna get to the other way how you can get it. But the gear is number 1. Number 2, you go to this blacksmith. We're gonna go to services. We're gonna go to Reforge. You can get critical hit damage on your Reforges, and the Reforge stone you would need, you can use a regular Reforge stone, or you could have a better odds at getting it, you would buy you a wildfire stone. As you see right here, critical hit damage increased by at minimum 1.5%, at maximum 3%. Okay, and you can roll those Reforges on every piece of equipment. So that would be, if you could get 3% critical hit damage on all of these gear, that would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24%. And that's the max you can get. 24% of critical hit damage on Reforges alone. That's not including, wait a minute, that's not including what's already on the gear. They're just the Reforge. So I have, as you can see, let me go back. Reforge, I have 24% of critical hit damage on Reforges. You see critical hit damage right here increased by 3%. Same thing, increase in critical hit damage increased by 3%. As you see on all of these pieces, I have it because I wanted to try to maximize critical hit damage. So Reforges by itself, if you can get 3% on Reforge on every piece of gear, you will have 24% right out the gate critical hit damage. Okay, so the first one, as a recap, is your gear. Most times I'm gonna go for critical hit chance. If I could get both, that's perfect. But as you see, most of these I went for chance. I will always choose, in my opinion, critical hit chance over critical hit damage. Once I get my chances, if I could get up to 25-30% critical hit chance, then I will work on critical hit damage. but it's still a must in my build because I want to do as much damage as I can. So you see my main hand, well, this one doesn't have it, but this one does. Critical hit damage. You can get critical hit damage on your headpiece, your shoulder piece, your main hand, your alternate main hand, your offhand, and your alternate offhand. Okay, the next way how you can get critical hit damage is runes. Now, which rune can give you critical hit damage? The LEV Rune. As we see right here, base attributes of equipment item increased by 8%. We're gonna go down a little bit further. Damage increased by 4% to enemies below 30% life. Next, your primary attacks have a 6% chance to reduce enemy attacks and movement speed by 20% for 3 seconds. And the last one, critical hit damage increased by 6%. 6% right out the gate if you buy one LEV Rune. But the good thing about the LEV Rune, you can wear the LEV Rune on your main hand. So keep in mind, we have a main hand and we have a alternate main hand. As you see in my build, I have 2 LEV Runes. Right here, my main hand and my alternate main hand. As you scroll down, you see that the icon of my rune right here. It specifically shows you what comes with the LEV Rune. As you see, the last one, critical hit damage increased by 6%. Since I'm using 2 of these right here, that is 12% critical hit damage just by buying yourself, or it might randomly drop for you in the dungeon or wherever you are in the game. That is 12% for LEV Rune. Next, we're going to cover how to get more critical hit damage. Enchant. As you can see, if I go to enchant, where you look on this right side, critical hit damage increased by, the minimum is 3%, the maximum is 6%. So if you on the hunt for more critical hit damage, you most definitely is going to be spending some dust and some gold for more critical hit damage. Right here it shows the minimum 3%. The maximum you can get from a roll is 6%. Next, more ways how to get critical hit damage. We're gonna go to item crafting. Ancient legendary helmet is already on it, guys. The red helmet, Hordesplitter spirit. As you see, we scroll down right here, critical hit damage increased by 4.5%. So if you have this helmet, you are automatically getting critical hit damage by 4.5%. Okay, and I'm just trying to make this video as quick and accurate as possible. Okay, and the last way how to get more critical hit damage is, let's go over here, gym services. We're gonna go to craft, or Telluric craft. We're gonna scroll all the way down to blood flow. As you see, just hear me out. Your blood flow, your critical hits cause you to enter a blood rage for 6 seconds. Increase your damage done by 9%. And your critical hit damage by 18%. Let me read that last part. Increase your damage. So increase your damage by 9%. This level 1, by the way. And your critical hit damage by 18%. While blood rage is active, your critical hits also rend flesh, causing enemies to bleed from an additional 10%. Base damage every second. 10% base damage every second for 3 seconds. Blood rage cannot trigger more often than once every 20 seconds. And rend flesh cannot trigger on the same enemy more than often once every 1 second. Maybe rewind a little bit. It says, while blood rage is active, your critical hits, so it helps your critical hits, number 1. Also, rend flesh cause enemies to bleed for an additional 10%. Increase your damage done by 9%. You get 9% extra damage. And this is the key part. And your critical hit damage will increase by 18% from blood flow. And this is at rank 1. So you get more damage, more crit, and more critical hit damage. Crit chance, well, your critical hits do damage, but your critical hit damage do more damage. So, just a recap how to get more critical hit damage. We said the first one was your gear. Sometimes you pick up a piece of gear, it will save critical hit damage increased by 5%, 4%, 7%. The most I've seen was 7 or 7.5%. But it can range from 3%, 4%, 4.5%, 5%, 6%, 7%, or 7.5%. The second one was Reforges, okay? So number 1, how to get more critical hit damage. Number 1 is your gear. Number 2 is your Reforges. If you want critical hit damage under your Reforges, you can use regular Reforge Stones or Wildfire Stone. The good thing about Wildfire Stone is, see, when you use Reforge Stones, it gives you a random bonus attribute. It can come from any family. Wildfire, Tremor, Jolt, Vengeance Stone, Barrier Stone, Ravager Stone. Yo extra attribute can come from anywhere. And you might get lucky, and a lot of times you might not get lucky. But if you go ahead and buy like a good 5 or 10 Wildfire stones, you have a chance, because the Wildfire Stone states you can only get these 5 attributes. See, primary attack damage increase, all skin damage increase, damage done to enemies below 30%, life increase, critical hit damage increase, heal party members for, on death increase. So I would rather for you to get the Wildfire Stone. You have a 1 out of 5 chance of getting critical hit damage increase. Okay? Next, we just doing the recap. Runes. So the number 1 was gear. Number 2 is Reforges. Number 3 is Rune. The third way how to get more critical hit damage. Right here, LEV Rune. Scroll down right here. Critical hit damage increased by 6%. Okay. The fourth way how to get more critical hit damage is we gonna go to the blacksmith. We're gonna go to enchant. You can enchant critical hit damage on your helmet piece, your shoulder piece, both main hands, and both off hands. You cannot get critical hit damage on your chest piece or your pants, on your gear. Okay? Next, the fifth way, you'll go to item crafting. You're gonna go to ancient legendary. Hordesplitter spirit. You scroll down. Critical hit damage increased by 4.5%. That's the fifth way. And last without least, the last and final way how to get more critical hit damage is the legendary gem Blood Floe. As you increase the levels of this gem, your critical hit damage will increase. Okay? Please like, comment, share, and subscribe this video for more tip videos like this. And I will catch you all on the next one.